Welcome to Remelations. We're your hosts. I'm Mindy.
And I'm Brooke.
Remelations is a dream interpretation podcast where we read listeners' dreams. From nightmares to the just plain bizarre, join us as we give you our comedic interpretation of your fucked up REM cycle.
Today we're reading dreams about Indian spices, cults, and soup.
Yum. We also have a dream where we're talking about beer, unique pets, and gynecologists. Go get checked out. We're also talking about the most common nightmares by each state.
Interesting.
So let's get started, besties.
Woo!
We should always have it on there, like check record that we're recording too.
Yeah, maybe that should be the first thing besides stop.
Stop.
Turn off the heater.
Turn off the heater in the air.
Make sure mics are on.
Check.
Hi, Mindy.
What's up? You're trying to do it so perfectly, but it's cute.
Hi, Mindy.
Hey. Hi. Hello. Hola. ¿Cómo estás? Bonjour.
Bonjour, ça va?
Yeah, oui, ça va, toi? Et toi?
Oh,
God, it's been a long time,
Merci.
yeah.
I know.
But we got a couple listener dreams to get to this week.
Do you want me to get started?
Yes, please.
This is going to be a interesting one, okay?
I
think we just need to jump right in because there's a lot to talk about. And let's just get started, I guess. This is from Phil, and he's from London, Ohio.
Ohio. Oh, hi, Phil.
Hi, Phil. Me and two of my friends were driving through Iowa. Holla. Came across an idyllic town/compound. Seemed like paradise. The compound felt so out of place in Iowa.
What are you trying to say here, Phil?
Yeah, rude. Okay. How have we never heard of this place? We drove down a hill into the newly constructed compound. Why spend millions to make this in the middle of nowhere, Iowa?
Wait. Did he watch the movie Field of Dreams recently?
That is a good question. I should respond back, but I don't know. This is, if you build it, they will come, but
That's what they say.
But everyone's heard of the Field of Dreams. These guys have never, well, I assume he and his friends, sorry. It could be friends, girlfriends, boyfriends, I don't know. So they drive down into these doors. They have to go through these doors to get into this compound.
I just picture like the Jurassic Park doors opening.
I did like dun, 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 like they open up. See, you would notice something like people would notice something like that. I feel like
you'd think
know
it'd
that
be
existed.
Right.
We met an Indian spiritual leader, and the community members brought him turkey neck frozen dinners, and he thanked them, and they left.
That is a good gift. I mean, when you're meeting a leader of something.
Turkey necks? Okay. We all went back for a luncheon with Indian and Far Eastern food. Then another giant feast of a turkey carcass.
What's with the turkeys?
But heavily spiced with Indian spices. But here's, I think, where the hammer drops. There were a bunch of rules at this luncheon.
Oh, no, God. I can't wait to hear these. Well, yes. Okay. Social rules for turkey neck carcass luncheon. Ready.
Here we go. There's 8, so bear with me. 1.
Oh, my God. There's the fact that he remembers these rules is
I know. I'm like,
fascinating.
is he Mindy secretly sending me a dream? No. I'm not sure. It's very specific.
It does seem very much like something I would dream of, but I love this. Okay.
And these are, okay, I'm just going to go.
Okay.
1, we see the water. 2, we drink the water.
Okay.
3, the water feeds the flesh.
Oh.
Which I don't necessarily know what that means.
That seems very religious. Okay.
And 4, we eat the flesh.
Oh, God. This is not good.
5, we burn everything.
Including the flesh?
Maybe it's turkeys.
Oh, okay. Poor turkeys.
6, we use water to put the fire out.
Makes sense.
7, this creates salt. 8, we make soup from the salt.
Oh, no. This seems like a very very detailed recipe.
This is such a Mindy dream, I feel like. I almost had to question it. So everyone was enamored by this leader, but we started to feel like they were in a cult. Yeah, I think so.
You think?
There's lots of weird rules here. They took us through a gallery of artwork. The artwork seemed reasonably priced.
Well, that's helpful.
That's nice. I hope they picked up something nice on their trip through this cult.
You don't want to overpay. Is it like the gift shop at the end? You know how they always shuffle you through the gift shop?
Yeah, they always have it at the end because you can't leave without going through
Thanks
the gift shop.
for attending our culty ceremony. Get a keychain.
Thanks for attending our turkey carcass dinner.
We should have saved this one for Thanksgiving.
Yeah, maybe I should wait for a year. The cult was a very violent religion. We saw a spousal counseling session where the woman stabbed the man directly into the thigh.
What did he do to deserve that?
But it was praised by the spiritual leader. You need to create, burn, destroy, make soup, and rebirth.
The make soup is what's the best part. Who doesn't love a good soup?
Okay. Even when they offered us concubines, we still wanted out. The perfect town was very, very wrong.
When they offered them what is it?
Concubines.
What are concubines?
It's basically like female sex slaves.
Oh.
To put it in the most basic way possible. So even that, they still wanted out.
I don't blame them.
I don't blame them either. And
did they get to take some soup home?
Don't know.
Wait.
That was the end of it. That was the end of it.
But just like this dream. I mean, it's not a good time. It's kind of a scary time.
Mm-hmm.
I'm very worried for Phil's brain.
I am too.
What's going on?
It all starts the same, like with any cult. Like, so they arrive to paradise, basically.
Yeah.
And it's like, but that's how everything starts. They're nice and everything is perfect. And then they start to break you down.
Mm-hmm.
But the thing I thought that was interesting was they had no idea about this. And I get it. A lot of cults are secret, but a lot of cults also, you need to grow. So you need to bring the more population in. And the fact that he said there was new buildings and they were building new compounds, it seems like there's always locals that'll be like, oh yeah, those weirdos out in the woods or, something like that. But the fact that no one had ever heard of these people was kind of creepy to me. But
I'm always fascinated by cults. Do you have a favorite cult?
Well, of course it's Scientology because it scares me the most. Because I feel like you could go into one of their centers and within 1 second, they have you. I don't know how they do it, but
hypnotism.
It terrifies me. Like most cults do. Like it doesn't matter.
Yeah.
If you're smart or whatever, cults get you. They just get you somehow. And you can be a successful, brilliant mind, but they know how it works. And Scientology is so big and far-reaching and so evil with
so much people in high power to it. It's just scary.
Which is very scary, and it's like you're basically stuck for life and not even life. You sign a contract for afterlife, like.
I'm sorry, my afterlife self cannot agree to this at this moment.
They won't let you.
She might change her mind. I don't know. She's just going to see what happens.
They'll make you grab onto those e-meters or whatever they are, and you'll be in for life. Like,
yeah.
I saw a Scientology center in downtown Chicago once when I was with my brother, and I was just so curious. I was like, tie a tether around my waist and you
so
wait
they can pull you back out.
Because I'm just so curious. I just want to see what it's like, but don't let go, because if I'm not out in 10 minutes, pull on the tether and get me out of there. Because I was just like, I wonder what they do. Like, you're people off the street that walk in. So do you have a favorite cult, so to speak?
Oh, I was just listening to a podcast called Twin Flames, produced by Wondery. Fantastic show, but it's about this couple who claim, what they say is like everyone in the world has a twin flame, and it's like, I almost see it as like a creepy crush on someone. Like, they might not like you at all, but they encourage you to like practically get arrested to prove your love to this twin flame. And people pay thousands of dollars to be in this, and it still exists, which is the craziest thing. That, and they can tell you who your twin flame is, but the weirdest thing is the guy, does the whole claim to be God, Jesus, a reincarnation of Jesus. And that's
what? I've never heard of such a thing.
Right? Isn't that like Cult 101?
Yeah, I think it is Cult 101.
My divine power is channeling through me to tell you to do something, so you better listen.
Right?
Yeah. No. So if you want to listen to a good podcast, it's called Twin Flames.
It's on Wondery?
It's on Wondery, yeah.
Oh my God. Yeah.
So good. It's like 6 or 7 episodes. It sucks you in. Because especially when you get those people that get out of the cult and then they start telling about what was happening in it.
Best. That's why some of my favorite books are these Scientology books, because it's like
a tell-all.
Holy shit. Like everyone knows about Scientology, but they don't know about Scientology and how crazy it is, like putting kids in labor camps and like, taking them from their parents. And these parents are fine with it because they're devoted. It's bananas. Yeah. It's crazy.
It is.
The next thing that I found interesting was that it was the Indian spiritual leader and the frozen turkey neck dinners.
Do you think you get those at like Aldi's on sale?
Like, but turkey necks? I don't know. What the fuck is a turkey neck?
No.
I know there's different parts, but why did he want them? And why did he need so many that he had to freeze them?
And what's with the obsession of turkeys here?
Right, because everyone else had to eat the turkey carcass.
So why?
You think there's a lot of carcasses lying around because there's a big group, but he only wants the neck? I can't even imagine, but I don't know. Maybe he likes them as a special treat.
But I mean, if you think about them as like a dream symbol, it's kind of like the discarded part. So like, what does that mean? Like, it's like something that turkey dinner, you rip it out of that inside out of the cavity and you throw it away, or you can save it for make soup. Maybe that's
ding, ding, ding. But he gets, like, it's supposed to mean, like, the turkey neck is something so fancy, but then everyone else has to eat the carcass.
True.
So it kind of goes with the cult mentality, like, the leader, no one questions. He gets the best of the best, and then we eat the carcass. So I feel like it's kind of quite literal.
Either way, just give me, like, a drumstick. I'm good.
I like a drumstick. I like the dark meat. I do. I love dark meat.
That's my favorite part of a turkey. Yeah.
And, going through this dream as if the theme of kind of being out of place isn't already prominent. The food they eat, not just the carcass, but that the strong Indian Middle Eastern spices, which, of course, Iowa is known for.
Yes. Are very dense history of Indian cuisine.
Yes, we love
that and seafood.
Middle Eastern and Indian spiced foods. It's one of our specialties. So I was like,
right.
Everything just kind of keeps falling into place of being out of place, I guess I should say. So, but then we come to the rules. The 8 rules. I just want to say, like, we could probably spend a whole episode on these 8 rules and dive into them. So I think we're just going to have to remember them and kind of, I'll briefly go over them again. But obviously they have to mean something, but I mean, only Phil's going to know like what these mean.
Yeah.
But it's quick. Okay. So number 1, we see the water. Number 2, we drink the water. Number 3, the water feeds the flesh. Number 4, we eat the flesh. Or maybe these are the turkeys. I don't know.
The flesh of the turkey.
Number 5, we burn everything. Number 6, we use water to put the fire out. Number 7, this creates salt. And number 8, we make soup from the salt.
You can't have a good soup without some good salt.
I mean, salt is the best ingredient in anything, really. Mindy knows this more than anyone.
I do. I like Mindy my food salty. But it's interesting that there's 8 rules, and to get into numerology a bit, your favorite.
I do love it.
8 is often a number of like power and strength, and it's often linked to money or value.
Oh.
And so, but, we talk about this being a cult and that there's like a leader and someone you have to follow. I think it plays more into like the power and strength side of the dream than it does the financial.
It's nice to know, too, because my favorite number does happen to be 8. So maybe someday I will be wealthy and powerful.
I'm sure that's exactly what it means.
It has to be. I mean, Phil's like, I got to send this to Brooke because her favorite number has to be 8. And we got to figure this out now.
But it's also a sideway. If you think about it, it's an infinity symbol.
It is an infinity
so
symbol.
It could mean like an infinite amount of power or strength the rest of your life. It can mean, money or good things to come in
Sounds like a new tattoo for me.
For Phil? Phil, get a turkey neck with an 8 going. The turkey neck goes through the 8.
I would get an infinity symbol, but I don't know if I'd throw the turkey neck in there, but that's because it wasn't my dream. It was just
True.
Phil's dream.
Interesting rules, though. That's
interesting rules. And then, the fact that they realize it's a cult pretty quickly.
Yeah.
But my favorite part, after they even realized it was a cult, that they were taken through an art gallery. And Phil says, the art seemed reasonably priced. I'm glad during all of this, he's realizing this art they're selling. It seemed like a pretty good deal.
It's like subjective,
that's
but it's
important to note in the dream. But
it is interesting because it seems so far-fetched, all of it. And then this part is like completely like sane.
Yeah,
like,
completely normal.
It's reasonable.
It seemed like a good deal. It's like, they were at Costco or something. But then it quickly turns dark again with the therapy session with the wife stabbing.
God, there's so much in this dream.
I know.
I forgot about
That's why I'm like, we can't talk about the rules. We don't have
so much.
Time.
There's so much.
And it was praised, like stabbing the husband in the thigh or whatever was. I mean, I think that is good therapy personally, but
Brooke does not condone violence. No.
I do not condone violence. That just seemed
in your dreams. Fine, take out your anger. Doesn't hurt anybody.
It's a weird form of therapy. But I feel, and then at the end, the concubines, it kind of turned funny that he mentioned, even the concubines couldn't get us to stay.
Yeah. Like, bye.
So I feel like, I don't know, Phil. I don't know if I feel like he goes back and forth in this dream between kind of funny and serious. So I don't know if that's maybe like his personality in general, but I think he's confused about something clearly, but cults themselves are confusing. They're made to like draw you in and then they break
smoke
you down. Smoke and mirrors, exactly. So maybe his brain is kind of with this mix between comedy and seriousness as a pros and cons list of some sort in his head. Like you said, they trick you into thinking everything is great, but cults in general, they're tricky because I feel like it's a sign of loss of control of self. So I'm wondering if Phil has more of some searching to do for himself rather than a specific issue. Who knows? It could be both. It could be one or the other, but I feel like you lose so much control when you are in a cult and so much of yourself that maybe he's dealing with something within himself rather than a very specific issue.
At least he had some friends with him. It's not like he entered this cult by himself, or he found this place by himself. He had 2 people. Or was it a couple people he knew?
If they made it out. I mean, it seems like they were gonna because the concubines weren't going to keep them. But
we're going. Shuffle us through the gift shop again.
I guess my final question is, with this dream, why all the rules? Just skip to the point and make some goddamn soup is what I think it should boil down to. Because that is
literally boil down to, Brooke.
Good one, Mindy. I mean, if that's number 8, we make soup with the salt. Why not just make fucking soup from
just
the beginning?
Get the salt from you go to the store
from somewhere. And I mean, does even burning something make salt?
I don't know.
I don't know the scientific background to that. Like, because it's like we burn something and that creates salt. Is that even true?
Ashes? It creates ashes.
Ash soup? I don't know.
Ash soup. Sign me not up for that.
I will pass on that.
It's just got turkey necks and ashes and a carcass
and some ash.
And of course some carrots and celery.
Well, I mean, who knows? It doesn't mention any of that. It just mentions the salt.
A couple bay leaves.
Guess what? Go to the store in the nearest Iowa city that's not in the middle of nowhere. Buy a shit ton of Campbell's soup. Problem solved. You need one rule. Number 8, make soup. Everything's good after that.
Speed it up.
Let's speed this process.
But soup making is not But it's interesting because soup making is not a quick process to make a good soup.
You got to simmer.
You really
got to get the flavor profile going. But good luck, Phil. I hope you find that self-discovery that you're looking for.
Yeah. Thanks, Phil. If you want to be cool like Phil and share your soup recipe, you can email us your dreams or dream stories, remelations@gmail.com. We'll take your dreams. We'll take your nightmares. We'll take your favorite recipes in an Instapot or in a soup can.
Minus the ash and
No
turkey
ashes.
carcass.
Thanks, friends.
Mindy? Oh, she's laughing already. I know she's got a good one.
I'm excited about this one. Is all over the place bizarre, but it is interesting because it also kind of has a culty feel to it.
No, really?
Yeah.
Okay,
Yeah.
wow. Okay, here we go.
Okay. This dream was submitted from Amber, she, her, from Cullman, Alabama.
Okay, Bama.
Yeah, she titles her dream, and it's called No Beer with the Gynecologist.
I don't think we need to read the dream. It's already my favorite dream ever.
Wait, / hidden layer.
Oh, I'm so interested now.
Okay.
Let's dive in.
Amber starts, "Hey guys, I'm Amber from Alabama. I don't know Allie from Alabama, but I found," which I love. I absolutely love that.
Maybe they should become friends. They should find each other.
They should definitely become besties. Allie, Amber, I think you guys are besties at heart. I feel
I do.
connection.
I do. We might have just made like a love connection for real.
I found your podcast because of her comment on the Morbid group. So thanks, Allie.
Yay.
Okay. Anyways, I had a strange, vivid dream and I immediately wanted to share it with y'all. Y'all,
I love it.
So in my dream, my ex-best friend, then she says, who uses the same gynecologist as me in real life.
I'm sorry. Okay.
That's what I always find in a good friend. Hey, what gynae do you use?
I'm in the waiting room. I'm like, hey, you want to hang out after this? Oh my God.
So her ex-best friend who uses the same gynecologist told me that she and her husband went on vacation and she stayed with our gynecologist and her husband for a week.
Oh, okay.
It's like really friendly. She told me that every time her husband would go buy beer and put it in the refrigerator, our gynecologist's husband would pour it out and say that beer is not welcome in their home.
What? Aren't they on
Rude.
vacation?
Right?
How's it their home?
Settle down there, Chad.
Yeah.
Not your Chad. No,
it's like, I get it. Settle down there, Chad.
But her husband kept going out to buy more anyways.
I hope he hid it. Didn't bring it in the house because, my God,
Yeah,
gynecologist
right?
is going to flush
Back
it down
to the
toilet.
rules. What the hell?
More rules. You're right.
Okay.
Oh, my God.
I didn't understand why my ex-friend's husband would keep bringing beer to the home if they said it wasn't welcome.
That's fair.
Yeah. Fast forward a year or so, I guess. So in her dream, she's fast forwarding a year in her dream. A friend of mine who also uses the same gynecologist.
Wow. This is one popular gynecologist.
She goes, we live in a small town and she really is the best.
Is she the best or the only? Because there's a big difference.
So now we've got 3 friends here. Well, one's next. We don't know what happened to that one.
To be determined.
My friend and I were hanging out in a tent in my backyard, and I don't know why.
Cool. Just a tent.
Roughing it, just
roughing it.
It's like
backyard.
kids
like
do,
kids.
You know? Yeah, just put their tent in the backyard.
That's
You
my
need to use
kind
the
of
bathroom.
camping. Like,
Yeah.
It's close to the door where I can go to the bathroom or get an air conditioning if I need it.
That is Brooke's only kind of camping.
Maybe.
Not the best. The only.
Right? The only, unless it's like a cabin with everything that's in there that a hotel room would have. Let's just say it.
It's okay. Okay, so then Amber goes on. Our home is on 40 acres of land, so the backyard is a pasture with some woods. My friend and I went walking around the wooded area and found a house on the land that I've never seen before.
Creepy.
Yeah, you'd think you'd notice it if it was on your land.
Right? It's your land. I mean, 40 acres is big, but
Yeah,
still,
that's
if
a
it's
lot.
your land, you think you've maybe gone across it a few times.
It was huge and it was gorgeous. It looked like a miniature resort.
Oh, so it's not like a little cabin. It's like a
no.
mini mansion.
It's like huge.
Yeah, then you would definitely notice that.
We did decide not to bother them, although the house was built on my property. So you had every right to go over there and be like, what the hell?
Well, maybe she was like, well, if we're nice, they'll let us use their pool house sometime.
All the amenities, the workout room, the pool, the sauna. So we were walking my dog, who I kept calling by my actual dog's name, but it was really a black bear on my dog's leash. Yogi, come here.
Yogi?
I don't know, I just made...
I like Yogi. Yogi, come back. What kind of leash would it take to contain a black bear?
I'm guessing it has to be the harness. I mean...
It has to be, because don't bears have basically no neck?
Yeah, their heads don't have... They all are, like, wide enough.
Yeah, like, you would have to have a harness on this.
I definitely
on
need
Yogi. Yogi would need a harness. A harney.
Okay, so they were walking her dog bear. We find a strange wooded area that has an opening in the middle of it. And we were curious about what was going on there.
Oh boy, I feel like this isn't going to be good.
Yeah. So, randomly, my brother-in-law was there, and I asked him to hold my dog, in parentheses, dog. And I was trying to... dog bear. Yogi the dog bear. I was trying to tighten up my dog's collar so she wouldn't run away from my brother-in-law, but I couldn't figure out how to do it, and I was getting so frustrated. I mean, it's got to be a lot harder to put a harness on. I would
think it's a little more difficult, especially since dogs are kind of domesticated at this point, but a bear, not so much.
Nope. She goes on to say, I grabbed a beer from the tent my friend and I were staying in, and she told me I wasn't allowed to have it because our gynecologist kept hiding her beer from her in her own house.
Stupid gynecologist. Why can't she just let everyone have a beer? Is it really going to make that much of a difference?
They're just, beer and camping go hand in hand.
Beer and a gynecological exam go hand in hand.
I told her about my ex-friend saying that they weren't allowed to have beer in their home, but she can't tell us what to do on our own property.
That's true. She could on her own.
You crossed the line.
I get it.
You crossed the line.
You crossed the line. I mean.
Suddenly, our gynecologist appeared and took my beer and hid it under the bathroom sink in my house and told me that people are not allowed to see my beer. I was so confused.
You think if she was that opposed to it, why did she hide it? You think she just pour it out?
Dump it out. Put under the bathroom sink? Weird place.
And then she told her where it was. It's under the bathroom sink, but no one can drink it.
So my friend was using binoculars to see what was in the clearing in the woods. And she told me that she could see what looked to be a hidden lair.
Ooh.
I told her, hold up, I would be right there, because I was busy just trying to get my wedding dress on real quick. Question mark.
Wait. Okay.
Amber, you got Brooke going here.
It might be a minute. She's trying to get her wedding dress on?
Yeah.
So if you have to replace anything with beer, it's putting your wedding dress on, going to find a hidden layer.
It seems like the complete appropriate apparel.
I mean, I don't see anything wrong with this situation.
So while I was getting dressed, there were all these trucks and tractors. They were driving through my backyard, and I don't know these people.
Okay. Seems like there's a lot going on in her property that she's not aware of.
Good point, yes. So finally, I got out to the tent where my friend was using binoculars to look at the hidden lair in my wedding dress. And I took the binoculars, and I looked, and there was an entire Native American reservation.
Oh, boy.
Just going on with their lives.
Again, another huge thing on her property. She had no idea what was happening.
Nope. Then, okay, this creeps me out. Then, randos, started reaching from under the tent and up my dress and grabbing and pulling my legs. And that's when I woke up.
Ooh, creepers. Ooh, that's so creepy.
I have no clue what any of this is about, but it was super vivid and realistic and weird. I love your podcast. I can't wait to listen to new episodes when they come out. Keep being great, Amber.
Oh, Amber. Thank you
First
so
of all,
much.
you are the sweetest. Thank you.
That is so sweet. And I'm sorry, like, we had to add that onto the end of a terrible end to your dream. But thank you for sharing. We love that you shared with us. And
That dream is insane.
I hope your wedding dress was pretty. If there's anything I can hope
get
for
your
you.
random hands off of it. Like,
oh God, that has to be and from like under the tent too. It's not like that's like that means like they're almost underground, right? Because the
they're
tent,
just
like
that leaves a bad taste in my mouth.
No, I don't like it.
You know what leaves a good taste in my mouth is beer. But she was not allowed to have any.
You know what? It leaves a good taste in my mouth. Not literally, but I like the idea of a bear on a harness, like your little baby.
Little
baby
dog bear.
Baby dog bear. That's his name. Baby dog bear. You could have the beer. I'll have the bear. And then we'll just have to figure out the Battlestar Galactica part if you are the office watchers that we are.
Oh, yes. Yeah.
Beats, Bears, Battlestar Galactica.
Perfect. Hashtag, what does Rainn Wilson dream?
Oh, you got it. Good job. I can't wait to hear from him. I have a feeling he's going to let us know.
I feel like one of these days, one of these celebrities will get back to us.
They have to.
But until then, keep tagging that hashtag with us. So every week we're tagging this hashtag on Twitter and Instagram and Facebook and anywhere you can. So if you want to get one of these celebrities to write us back, do us a favor. Hashtag them.
Hashtag repost. Do anything you need to because we want to hear from our our celebrity friends.
Our celebrity friends. Because we have a whole big goose egg of them right now.
Big goose egg. Well, we do kind of aim high. I feel like
we do. Yeah,
for like Tom Hanks and Harrison Ford, things like that. So
reach for the stars.
Reach for the stars. I mean, what can go wrong? Just a goose egg.
Yep, just a goose egg.
Someday. Wow. Okay. Where do we begin with this one?
Well, I'm going to start with the beer because there's a couple ways you can take beer, just like anything. It's, it could be a good time. It's usually like relaxing and fun and social, but it could also mean like a vice or, like a social situation because most people like drink socially. But at this point, like going through this, I'm leaning more towards it's like kind of like the fun part of the dream. Like it's, they just want to have a beer and they keep
they're
being
on
told
vacation or they're in a tent. It's not like they're sad alone at home drinking. These are social situations where beer is kind of normal. You're on a trip, you're camping, whatever. Like it's kind of the norm.
It is. And then let's talk about Cullman, Alabama's only gynecologist.
At least she's female empowerment.
Woohoo!
But
she must be
kind of
good.
like a bitch, honestly. I not to be mean. I'm sure she's a fantastic gynecologist, but
why all the rules?
Why? Rules?
And if I'm thinking of like doctors, obviously they're in high standing societally. If you think about them, thereors are trusted and what you tell them is private. But especially with a gynae, it's very vulnerable. There's a lot of vulnerability.
Yes,
when it comes to that.
Absolutely. If there's any doctor besides maybe like a proctologist, the gynecologist is going to be where you're most vulnerable. I agree.
Vulnerable. There's a privacy there that is trusted.
Wait,
so
can I ask you a quick question?
Yeah.
Have you ever been to like a teaching practice or teaching? Just a university or something where they're like, can we bring some students in?
Yes.
I have. And it's like, also,
what was your answer?
You're like, 4 people. And you're like,
was this a gynecology situation? Oh, God.
I mean, I've done it for other things, but nothing was as vulnerable as I thought. Maybe there's one person coming in, but it's like all of a sudden there's like 4 people standing around, like taking a real good look. And
they got their notebooks.
They have their like little pens. They're cookie pens, which I don't have anymore.
No.
And they're taking notes. I'm like, yeah, it's nice, isn't it?
It's there.
Here we are.
Yeah, I have had that. And I always do say yes because,
you have to learn.
Kids have to learn
somehow.
Not kids, but students. Yeah. Okay, so the gynecologist is just being a total party pooper. But then we talk about a tent, and tents are like a non-permanent structure. So there's the house. There's a tent. there's a hidden lair, and there's a resort. I mean, there's a lot of structures here. But like, if I focus on the tent's temporarily there. It's not a permanent structure.
Mm-hmm.
So what maybe is not permanent in her life right now? Like, is there a phase of her life that's just a temporary thing?
Right.
Whether it be a in-between job thing or, a family situation that's just temporary. So what is it? I think that kind of is important to point out here.
Hey, but at least they're having fun in the tent. I mean, until the end. Like,
Until
at
they
least
can't-
they're
oh, yeah.
allowed to drink beer in the tent, right?
Wear wedding dresses.
Wear wedding dresses, run around
Have a good
wild.
time.
Like, sounds like a good time, just up until the end.
Up until the end. But then we'll talk about your little baby dog bear.
Baby
And-
dog bear. I love him so much.
But what words come to mind if you think of a bear? Because often when we mentioned this before, when we talk about animals, is there is a trait in the animal that may be a little more specific that you see in yourself?
Power. I feel
Power,
like
yeah.
power.
Absolutely, I agree.
Strength. Like,
Yeah, badass, large, in charge.
Yeah, and I mean, I know this was a baby dog bear, but like mama bears.
Well, she didn't say it was a baby. She just said it was a black bear.
Oh, that's true. But I mean,
We just like the name
we
baby
just
dog
assumed
bear.
it was a baby because a baby dog bear sounds great. But I mean, when you think of bears in general, like mama bears, you think of protection like crazy, like super protective of their. I mean, most mothers in nature are, but I think bears in particular are super protective and super sensitive around their babies.
Yeah, agreed. And then, we have the wedding dress, which we talked about before. It means celebration, but it also means permanence, like some sort of permanence in your life.
Mm-hmm.
And then the last thing I want to mention was the Native American reservation that she had mentioned. And all she's seeing is them going on with her life. But if I think of that, I think of everything's okay. It's all like, it's traditional. It's very like clockwork. Things are,
by
everyone
the
has their
book.
job and, the whole community's working together.
Yeah.
And so that is a lot of symbols in a dream here, Amber.
Yeah. I think we both had some dreams where we could break down these dreams
So
for
much.
entire episodes.
Right. These are like, they should be their own episode dreams.
Right.
But overall, Amber, I think, it starts off like something's good. You're drinking beer, you're having a good time, beer's fun. But then
Beer is fun.
Beer is fun.
Hashtag beer is fun. New t-shirt.
Fun. Not like we need to proclaim that. Everyone knows.
No, well,
So life's going well, but then there's something temporarily that might be making you feel a bit vulnerable or something in your life that you want to protect. I think there's
Of course.
something that's making you protect. And that brings me to what you just mentioned about the bears being like a mama bear. What's a little off balance in your life or temporarily vulnerable that makes you want to protect?
Right. And I think it also goes with why did she want to put on her wedding dress? So maybe she is struggling with that permanency or that maybe she doesn't feel
Try to get back to that.
Maybe she doesn't feel secure anymore. And she's like remembering like putting on the wedding dress and what that symbolizes and what that means. Like a forever.
Yeah, just to get some, like, settle down almost. Be, like, more, like, traditional or to get whatever is out of balance right now back into balance. But then we got this, like, people grabbing her legs. And
Where did that come from? That just took such a strange turn.
I think that just says, there are going to be bumps in the road. But you're persevering anyways. And you're still having a good time. You're still handling shit on your property, even though everyone's coming over.
And there is a lot about gynecology in this dream and people reaching up her dress. I don't know.
Maybe they're the students.
Maybe they're the students. Maybe there's some kind of wanting of a child or something maternal. I mean, again, we're talking about mama bears. Something
we want to explore
sexually.
sexually. Something maybe your partner wants to do, and you're like, I don't know if I want to do that.
Give it a shot, man. Give
Shimmy,
it a try.
shimmy, and shimmy your way into that. Yeah, but maybe she wants to be more traditional when it comes to those things. So who knows?
That's fine. Everyone can have their own rules and drink beer or not drink beer as they wish. But everyone should go to a gynecologist for a checkup every 3 years.
So every 3 years?
Yeah. Well, it used to be every year.
Really?
But if you don't have anything wrong, you can go 3 years. So
I go every year.
Good job.
Nothing's wrong. Yeah.
Well,
Yes. Go visit your gynecologist.
your
and-
small town gynecologist where you'll run into all your friends in the waiting room.
That's their slogan. Jill's Gynecology. Come meet new friends.
Friends for life.
Cool. Well, thank you so much, Amber, for writing
Yeah.
that dream. And we love our Alabama fans, so thank you.
Oh
thank you.
my God, Alabama is like getting hot and heavy, right? Top of the
Man,
list.
they're good. They're
They
good.
are good folks down there. And thank you so much for supporting our show, everyone. But if you want to support, you can always go to remelations.com/support. There's many ways you can support, whether it's Patreon, but of course, submitting a dream or a dream story. We love too. And just remember, the first 25 Patreon members get a one-of-a-kind t-shirt and special access to additional dreams, additional dream stories. And there's some good stuff coming up.
Absolutely.
I have been dreaming every night for the last few nights.
Wow.
And it is like the second I wake up, I forget them. But I did remember like one catnap one. And then this dream, I wrote it down. Even it was like an hour after I woke up, it was still in my mind. But like,
Wow.
I know I've been dreaming. I've been dreaming. And I'm like trying so hard to
crazy.
remember the second I get up. And what I do is I'll do a voice to text.
Oh, yeah, that's smart.
And I'll just like say it to myself and
Yeah.
send it to my own like
Yeah.
number.
Oh, smart
So
way to do it.
I'm trying.
Yeah. I've been a little again.
Oh no.
Yeah. Can't remember.
Isn't that
Although,
weird?
Brooke, I did have something crazy happen this week, and I've been in a little bit of a lull again with my dreams, not remembering much of
Yeah.
them. But I don't remember all the details of this dream, but I do remember one part, and this is just really weird. So I just wanted to tell you.
Yes, of course.
I had it in my dream. I was in a dressing room, and I come out of this dressing room, and I think it was either my niece or you or both of you were there. My niece, Sydney. So I come out of the dressing room, and I'm like, what's going on? It must be a full moon. And you go, yeah, it's a full moon. And I wake up, and I look at a lunar calendar, and sure enough, the next day was a full moon. And I don't like follow that shit like normally. So I just thought it was really weird and bizarre that in my dream, I had a feeling it was a full moon.
I'm sorry. I don't mean to like look so surprised. That's amazing. But when you said that, this is weird. I feel like one of the dreams I've had recently where, I usually can't remember, had to do with a dressing room.
Really?
And I'm not even joking. Like, what if there was like
A crossover dream?
crossover
It's
dream?
SVU crossover dream? Chicago Fire, Chicago PD?
Oh
We're
my
getting
God.
all
It's
of them in?
a crossover
A
episode.
crossover.
Oh
That
my
is
God.
crazy, though.
Yeah, no,
That
because
would
I
be
remember.
crazy.
God, now I'm really trying. Like that, like sparked something in me. Like I
That is
did
weird.
have something about a dressing room. That's weird.
That is so
And maybe
weird.
because it was a full moon. Like it was legit a full moon. Like was it yesterday or today?
Yeah, I think
or
yesterday was.
something. So like
Yep.
maybe something was in the air that made us dream something kind of similar.
Ooh, never know. That's
Weird
weird.
to
If you
think.
guys have ever had something like that happen to you where you have simultaneously dreamt something one of your close friends or family members have, let us
Yeah.
know. Please write in.
That's so interesting. Do we have pod news, Mindy? We have pod news.
We have pod news. Yes. It's been a couple weeks since I mentioned some of our locations we have some people tuning in from. So just want to give a couple of shout outs here to Columbus, Marquette, Atlanta, or as Brooke calls it, Hotlanta.
Hotlanta. Which I've never been. So if you want to, the city of Hotlanta wants to have us do a live show there, they can give us some plane tickets on down and we'll be happy to.
Absolutely. Macon, Butte. Well, we know Butte is in Montana. There's lots of land there. And Yakima, Kansas City, Bend, Memphis, and Amarillo.
Texas, Tejas. And I know it's not on the list today, but Alabama, holla. We got to give them an extra shout
Yes,
out.
we do.
got
We do.
so many cool fans from Alabama.
Fun. Well, I have something fun to talk about today. Speaking of different states,
Ooh.
I wanted to talk about the most common nightmares by state.
There's such a thing out there?
I
There's
found
such
a study.
Oh, I'm so fascinated.
And so this information comes from a study that mattressadvisor.com did. And so Mattress Advisor.
Okay.
They give their opinion on different mattresses.
That's good. I just wanted to make sure I heard you correctly.
Yeah. We'll put a link in the show notes to this study. So what they did is they interviewed 1,500 people from all different states, trying to figure out what was the most common nightmare in each of these states.
Wow.
So if you had to guess, overall as a nation,
yeah,
what is the most common theme for a nightmare?
Naked.
Actually, that is really low on the list.
No way.
Really low on the list. Yeah.
Teeth falling out?
That's number 4. Yeah, you're getting close.
Oh, I feel like I'm on the Family Feud.
Survey says. 6.7 people report teeth falling out is the most common nightmare. 13.45% of the nation say that this is the most common. Yes, that's it. Ding, 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 ding. Brooke,
do I get
today
to the
you
fast
have
money
one.
round?
If you look behind door number 2, you have one.
Shower.
A new car. Or you could take that and get whatever's in this box.
Oh, no, I'll take the car because my car could use be upgraded at this point.
Perfect. Yeah, so I'm just going down the list. The most common nightmares across the nation. Number 1 is being chased. Number 2 is falling. Number 3 is missing important events. Teeth falling out. Loved one dying. Getting lost. Being trapped somewhere. Being dumped. An ex. Or home invasion. But actually, I'm going to go through these a different little way. So let me try this.
She's getting comfortable.
I got to resituate
She's adjusting. She's adjusting her position. This is serious.
Someday I'll get a real chair for this podcast like a big kid.
Well, I'm sitting against the bathtub, so if you can get a real chair, maybe someday I can get...
We can get some like really cheap, dirt cheap rental space in Rockford.
Oh, the garbage town of Rockford. I don't care if I say it. I don't care if you're listening. Come at me, Rockford. I am mad at you.
Whoa. Oh, wait. Side note. So what did they say about your ticket? They said no?
So besides our terrible lunch in Rockford where I got the takeaway box that was just for chili.
For your soup.
For my soup. We each got a $28 parking ticket. We parked in the same lot. Tiny little lot. Mm-hmm. And Mindy got there.
Signed.
No, didn't see a sign at all. Mindy got there before me. I didn't realize she was there. I just by chance saw a guy out of the corner of my eye walk up to like this kiosk. And you would have never noticed this kiosk. It's an outdoor parking lot.
And I can post pictures online because
she took pictures. She took
bullshit.
pictures. And so I was like, maybe I should see if there's like an hour free or something. So no, there wasn't. So I put my credit card in and you had to pay for 2 hours. It was like $6. I did it. Walk inside. We both come out. I told Mindy, I'm like, did you pay for parking? She's like, no. And I'm like, uh-oh.
I'm like, I don't know. I didn't park in that parking lot. There was a free parking lot.
She didn't see signs. And I'm like, I didn't see signs either. But of course, we walk up to her car first and she's got a $28 parking ticket waiting for her. And what was the shitty part? It was like 3 minutes after.
3 minutes after I parked. Yeah.
After I parked.
They're waiting.
Because she had checked her text message to her husband when we sat down for lunch, and there was like 3 minutes in between. Yeah. And so I was like, oh, shit, you should contest this. So I'm walking over to my car, all confident because I did pay $28 parking ticket. And I'm screaming to Mindy. I'm like, I got one too. I got one too. And so I was so mad. So it's like, even on the way home, I had to like stop. I was so mad. I'm like, I took a picture of my credit card statement and everything. And I sent it into them. And it took them like 6 days to get back to me. And I was downgraded to a warning. Warning. I'm like,
why you weren't even down? You paid. Why would that be a warning?
I paid. You're going to give me a warning? And they said, okay, so I have a personalized license plate that stands for Fun Brookie, which is my nickname.
Or if you're Mark, it says fucking Brookie.
Or Effin' Brookie, people also say too, because it's FNBRKIE. And when I entered my information, I put FUNBRKIE, and they're like, make sure you put in your correct license plate. I'm like, there was 3 cars in the parking lot. You couldn't figure out.
A parking lot of 100 spots.
You couldn't figure out that FUNBRKIE was the same as F. Oh, I was so mad. Oh, warning. Okay, Rockford, go fuck yourself. Side note.
Please. And because you know what? I took a video because, okay, normally This is like a desert town. There's there's nothing down here. We actually had lunch in the basement of a hotel because there's like nothing else open.
We couldn't find anything.
Normally, and I live in the city. I don't live in the city. I live near Chicago, so I know when there's parking, you got to pay, and that's fine. So I look in front of my car, not a sign. Look to the left, look to the right, no sign. Walk out, because usually the direction you would walk would have like a stop. Don't forget to pay.
Exactly.
No sign. No sign. It was on the far end of the parking lot where you didn't have to go by to park.
Right. And
Bullshit.
I think this is why Rockford is regularly on one of the worst cities list to live in the United States. And I'm not even making that up because I'm mad at them, but I think it really is considered one of the worst cities to live in. And
agreed.
They are living up to that reputation.
But now it's on our shit list.
$28.
Still down. Rockford.
You know how I feel about you.
Okay. So going back to
the
most common nightmares.
Yeah.
So I'm going to go through these and I'm going to let you know what state has these dreams the most.
Okay.
So the first one, as you guessed, is being chased.
Yes.
The state that has, you want to guess what state has the most dreams about being chased?
California.
Nebraska.
What?
44.44% of people claim that was their number one nightmare.
You know why? Because Nebraska's nice and flat. You can run really far. There's no hills.
Forever and ever. Come to Iowa, at least on the riverside of Iowa. That's too many hills. Too many hills.
That's tough run.
All right. Coming in number 2 is falling at 11.23%. Maryland.
What?
23% of people there say.
Okay. Well, I was thinking it'd be something, maybe a place with mountains or a high altitude, but nope. Good old Maryland.
No, but I'm going to have you guess this one. Missing an important event.
Is it a trick? Is it Iowa? Is it like
No.
Illinois?
No. Minnesota.
What?
They're just such nice people, and I'm sure that really bothers them if they miss an event.
An event could be like a garage sale, and they're like, "Oh, I'm so sorry,
I'm so sorry.
missed your garage sale."
Yeah.
Oh, they're the nicest people.
They are the nicest. I think that makes sense.
It does make sense.
Okay, teeth falling out. I'm going to give you a hint here. It's East Coast.
Yeah, that's a great hint.
Northeast Coast.
New York.
Rhode Island.
Oh, geez, you could have said it. Okay, well, that's fine.
Okay. My loved one dying.
Ugh, that could be anywhere. Florida.
Ooh, that's a good guess because there's some older people in Florida, but no.
Arizona?
It's in the non-contiguous U.S.
Alaska.
The other one.
Hawaii.
Hawaii, yes.
Damn it.
I know, but that makes sense to me because, Hawaii, it's all about Ohana family.
It is all about culture and, family heritage. That makes a lot of sense, yeah. So we would love to learn more about Hawaii if we could get there.
Yeah, if you know anyone in Hawaii, tell them to listen to the podcast because I don't think we have a listen on the big islands.
Hawaii,
the islands
come on, baby.
Yes.
We need you on our list.
Getting lost, the number 1 state, Washington.
Oh, well, that kind of makes sense.
That does make sense to me.
That makes sense, yeah.
Getting trapped, Montana.
Oh.
Which I find interesting because I don't see that as
so wide open.
Yeah, exactly. So maybe that's why.
Maybe there's too much space and it's like the opposite. You feel.
But this is crazy. 50% of people reported that as their number 1 dream in Montana.
50%?
Yeah, that's a lot.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
All right. Being dumped.
Well, how many states do we have? Are we going international?
I'll say it's a southern state.
Is it Alabama?
No, unfortunately not. Mississippi. They don't like being dumped. Dreaming of an ex would be Delaware.
God, we got some really small states on the East Coast, representing these numbers.
Yeah. So what would you guess Iowa's most common nightmare is?
Choking on corn?
I'm sorry, that is incorrect.
Or a corn cob somewhere where you don't want it?
Also incorrect. I'll give you a hint. It's not about corn.
Oh, well, then it definitely means being trampled at a tailgating Hawkeyes game.
That would make a lot of sense, but it is actually tornadoes.
Well,
Which I do have a lot of dreams about tornadoes. I mean, I don't live in Iowa now, but I grew up there and I still have. Yeah, tornadoes is quite a common one, but most common in Iowa.
You know what? That does make sense. Tornadoes are very scary dreams to have. Yeah. Any kind of weather-related dreams, I feel like, are very scary because you're just completely you have no control of the situation.
Yeah.
So
and you're also kind of being chased when it comes to tornado, too. So it kind of plays into both of those nightmares. Right. North Dakota cares a lot about going bald.
Oh!
With 33% of people reporting that's their number one dream.
This is so interesting.
Oklahoma. What do you call people from Oklahoma?
Is it Schooner State?
Sure.
Oklahoma.
They are afraid of being naked in public.
See? Naked was my number one guess, but that was way down the list, huh?
It was way down the list. Tennessee is a unique one here. They most common dream about monsters.
Monsters, huh?
All those.
This is fascinating.
10-tom monsters down there. Okay. Tennessee River.
Got it.
Tennessee River monsters. Watch out. But here's my favorite one of all. Wyoming.
Oh, boy.
And I'll let you guess what Wyoming's number one nightmare is. And you won't guess in a million years, but let's have some fun.
Being lost on the moon.
Nope. But
you said I'll never guess in a million years.
It's kind of along those lines of not really practical.
That was the first weird thing that came to my head.
I liked it. It's actually zombies. 25% of people in Washington report having nightmares about zombies.
Zombies. Wow.
Yeah.
Who knew? What's going on in each state that
causes that?
Yeah, that's so interesting.
Well, I get it with Hawaii being, about family.
That's the one that makes sense.
Iowa has one of the most reported tornadoes in the as states go. Iowa's next to Nebraska and Oklahoma.
Right. And the Washington one made sense too, but why do other ones just focus on being nude or something like that? What makes that state specific to that issue?
Yeah.
That's so fascinating.
It is fascinating. And I'll say that Illinois was being chased. So, which is often, it happens to me a lot. Mm-hmm. But if you want to see where your state falls in this list, we will go ahead and put a link to that in our show notes and put a graphic up on our social so you can check it out.
I love that. I love that.
I was nerding out over all of these numbers this morning. I'm like, ooh, 42%. Ooh, 50%. Ooh. Zombies, what the fuck?
Yeah,
going bald.
It's random. Imagine how many studies there are out there like that. And I wonder if they're similar.
Give me all the studies. I love this.
All the studies in the world.
Yes.
Mindy's got a binder for it. If you've got you've got a study, she's got a binder.
I call it my nerd.
And I've got Post-its to go with those binders.
Damn straight. So, how was your Easter?
It was delicious.
What did you guys do?
This is a sad state of affairs. The first Easter, I think I mentioned that my dad still does stockings for me and my brother, Easter baskets for me and my brother. This was the first year I had to have a combined Easter basket for me and Chad.
Oh.
I was no!
Oh. So your dad's recognizing you're in this long-term relationship and then he's now they can share?
No, because you know what? It's not going to be shared because he's going to eat it in 1 second and I'm not going to get anything.
Him? Rude.
Because he loves candy. And I'm no, we can't share because sharing does not exist in the world of candy to him. He will just chow it down. And I'm I was literally having to be that person where I'm you get one Heath bar, I get one Heath bar.
Oh, yes.
You get one Ruth. I ended up taking some Tootsie Pops and some Rolos and calling it a day. I'm this is not worth a fight.
What is one thing that could be in your Easter basket that you'd be okay, score?
Cadbury eggs. And I know that's pretty hit or miss. I think people either like them or they don't.
Yeah.
Luckily, Chad does not like them, so I
so you got all the Cadbury eggs. Nice. Take your wins where you can when you're in a relationship.
He noticed too because my purse fell open and all the Cadbury eggs rolled out. And he's oh, I see how it is. I'm you didn't want them anyway.
I can only imagine seeing this play out. Please. Don't even pretend you're offended.
I had to make sure I got something from this joint Easter basket. How was your weekend?
It was good. We had celebrated Passover with Mark's family. My sister and her husband were in town, and he's from Chicago. His parents live in Cicero. So we went down and had Easter with my sister and my brother-in-law's parents.
Oh, good.
Nice.
Yeah.
And then yesterday we just sat at home and day drank.
Drink beer?
Well, we started with Bloody Marys.
Did you put your wedding dress on and drink some beer?
I should have. Speaking of wedding dresses, a few weeks ago, my sister had a birthday party. My sister turned 50, and her daughters and her husband planned a party. It was a surprise party, but what she didn't know is everyone was going to dress up as different versions of her. So there was camping Shannon.
Yep.
I was wedding day Shannon. We had
motorcycle
Shannon. Yes, my mom went as like future Shannon. Like it was all because my mom and my sister look alike.
But your dress, by the way, spectacular, and your hair, spectacular. I think you did the best job of anyone. I mean, I'm a little biased, but I love your entire family. But you had the epitome of that time wedding dress.
My sister was married late 80s, early 90s. Yeah, early 90s. And so, and I'm a brunette, she's a blonde. So I found this really 80s rocker hair, found a big poofy sleeve dress with a bow on the butt, and then bright blue eyeshadow. And I looked just like her. So I'll post that picture on Instagram and social so you guys can see it. Because
I wasn't there, but I saw pictures, and you are definitely going to want to see this because
Mark kept looking at me. He's like, I just can't get over this wig. You look so weird.
Blonde.
He just couldn't get over me as being a blonde. I was like, yeah, it's not me. I cannot pull off blonde.
Oh, but it was such a good picture. It was so much when the whole picture of your whole family was such a good picture.
Yeah. I'll post that. But yeah, so that was the last time I wore a wedding dress. It was only a couple weeks ago. It was fun.
Well, congrats.
I think people should do it more often. Just
I think I should buy one just to wear it because I haven't gotten to wear one. I don't care. I'll go to the grocery store. People can look at me.
They'll just say congratulations. You'll be like, thank you.
Thank you very much. If I go to Walmart, I'll fit right in. Like, they probably won't even ask any questions.
No. Did I tell you one time, and this just came up, one time I was in the Walmart checkout, and there was a woman who was using one of those electric carts.
Yeah.
Okay. And then she had gotten a bucket of chicken from the deli area. And so all of a sudden, I see her at one point, and then we cross paths again, and all of a sudden we end up being behind her in line.
Oh, no.
She's eating the chicken and leaving the bones on the floor in the checkout. Yeah.
No.
It was the craziest thing. This must have been like 10 years ago, but I'm like,
why would that ever be okay?
I mean, like, first of all, you pay by weight.
People that
you ate half of them
when they eat, right?
No, I don't understand that. No.
I've never done it, but like you see people eating grapes or something. But
yeah, but you're paying by the weight.
Eat chicken and throw the bones.
Bones are all over the checkout floor. I'm like, what the
hell? Oh my god, that's horrifying.
Yeah, so that's a good Walmart story.
Is it? Mm-hmm. Is it a
she
good
wasn't
one?
She wasn't wearing a wedding dress, but she came home and she was full, I'm sure.
She was full because she ate all the chicken.
It wasn't
one
or two. It was like six pieces of chicken she had gone through in this amount of time.
She probably got like a dozen and only paid for 6 because she ate them all before she got.
Sticking it to the man.
There's like a fucking trail of bones behind her.
There was.
Oh my god.
Crazy.
Gross.
Yeah.
I didn't know that story. That's really funny.
And I think it was before I had a camera phone. So this must have been.
Of course it had to be.
Like
otherwise you would have captured
I would have totally
taken
taken pictures. Unless I did and I don't remember. But it was a good amount of time.
Wow.
If you're liking our stories and our podcast, we are going to ask you one huge favor, and that's to go ahead and tell your bestie about the show. Tell your best friend. Tell your favorite cult leader.
Baby dog bear.
Baby dog bear. Tell a baby dog bear. Or tell your favorite gynecologist when you are feeling most vulnerable. Please tell her, I can have beer, and this is a damn good podcast.
I love it.
Share our show. That's how we keep growing, and we appreciate each and every one of you. And hey, while you're at it, look down at your player right now and hit that follow button if you don't follow us yet, because that way you're making sure you're getting the episodes as soon as they come out.
Yep. Thank you, Amber and Phil, for submitting your dreams. We really appreciate it. Keep them coming.
We can't wait until next week where we get to read more dreams to our best friends. But until then,
sweet dreams, bitches!